How's it going, everybody? My name is David and welcome to Everything Economics. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how to be the ideal employee for any kind of employer out there. So for this past year, I've been working at McDonald's. And over the year, I've basically tried all the different kinds of positions, from in the back washing dishes and doing the stock, to cooking the food, to even cashing out some of the customers and handing out their food. So I've tried it all, and I've honestly enjoyed working at McDonald's for this past year. But over this past year, I've learned a lot of new skills. I feel like I learned a lot of life lessons. And I think personally, I'm not too sure, but I feel like I've strengthened my mindset. And in this video, I want to emphasize on this idea of how to be the ideal employee in the workforce, okay? Sweet. Can you guys see that? Yeah, how to be the ideal employee in the workforce. Number one, guys, I don't know, I held up a 5, but number one, numero uno, we're going to be focusing on work ethic. This is literally the first question and the first thing that every single employer looks at for their employee. Is this employee willing to put in the work? Are they willing to put in the effort? If so, and if it's a minimum wage job, for sure, almost 100% of the time, you are going to be hired. And trust me, guys, work ethic can take you a lot of places, and it can open a lot of opportunities for you guys. In the sense of, if you're willing to outwork almost every single employee within the company or whatever work environment you're in, your whole, like, sky's the limit. Like, there's gonna be so many opportunities for you guys. And like, guys, work ethic is where it's at, because personally, I'm not the smartest person. I've never been the smartest, but I've always been competitive. I've always been willing to work more than people, and that's a good trait to have, okay, guys? Number two, attitude. And you can honestly connect the two in the sense of, if you don't have a good attitude, most likely you're not going to have a good work ethic, okay? And with attitude, the employer is not going to want to hire you, in the sense that if you have a bad attitude, you could literally be the hardest worker, the smartest person. You could have such a specialized skill that they need. But if you have a bad attitude, they're not going to hire you, because you start to bring this negative energy into the work environment. You start fighting with managers. You start fighting with employees. So that's just going to mess up the harmony within the company. So that's a big no-no, okay, guys? And for another bonus, I have vision down here, but I'll get back to that, okay? So what you'll see, some of the situations, some of the kind of people, and kind of like, okay, what you're going to see when you're working is, number one, people are going to be lazy. Like, just accept the fact that people are going to be lazy. Especially in my situation, minimum wage job. But literally in most levels of work, there's always going to be lazy people. Number two, people are going to be annoying, okay? And these are just inevitable traits. And lastly, people are going to be negative. They're going to be putting you down. Okay, I don't know what's up with this capital and then this lowercase, but you guys get this. Number one is lazy, annoying, and negative. Okay? These are the three main traits that you see a lot. And if one person has one of these traits, most likely they have all three in somewhat of a capacity, okay? And number one, let's tackle with laziness. If there's people who are lazy within the company, it's gonna kind of entice you. It's gonna incentivize you to kind of become like them in some way. Because if we're being paid the same, we're being paid flat rate. Let's just say we're both being paid $10. And your coworker is doing honestly almost nothing, and you're having to compensate for them. It's like, why am I still being paid $10 even though I'm doing twice or even 5 times the amount of work that they are doing? But like, it's easy for me to say this, but at the same time, it's frustrating. But it just goes back to work ethic, where it's like, you just gotta not stoop down to their level, where it's like, you need to be able to put in the work even when you have lazy coworkers. Because if you want to move up in the ladder in your careers, if you start to become lazy yourself and start to have the mindset of, hey, of trying to get by with the most minimal amount of effort, you're not going to go far in whatever kind of career you want to go into. Okay? Number two, annoying. This is a big one, and I'm kind of stubborn and kind of disagreeable. So whenever there's kind of a conflict, in the beginning, I always clashed with coworkers. And it's not because I had a bad attitude, but number one, I always like to win. So that's one thing that I'm trying to work on myself. I was always trying to win in whatever kind of situation, no matter what it was, but I was always trying to win. And I would always get annoyed by people, and I would kind of like, not really start fights, but I would get into conflicts. But with this, I've learned that honestly, save your energy, save your stress. Just avoid conflict at all avoid conflict at all costs. Literally, like if there's an analogy, be Switzerland. Literally just do nothing. I call this the like what is it called? Like the not like a skill, but like the life hack, like a okay skill. So essentially what you try to do is whatever kind of conflict there is, somebody's trying to spread rumors or secrets or start trouble, you're just like, okay, yeah, okay. Just hit them with one word responses. So it kind of stops them from kind of like sharing their whatever. It kind of stops them from trying to talk to you, trying to influence you, trying to get from you trying to get involved. So basically you want to avoid conflict, stop it at all costs, and just kind of you do you, right? Just focus on your task because you weren't hired there to start trouble or be involved in conflict, but you were hired there to do your task. So just remember that and just focus on your job and you will do just fine. Number 2, negativity. People are going to be putting you down. Sometimes people talk behind your back. Sometimes they say mean things even to your face. So don't let that get to you. And that kind of leads to this idea of vision, where some people will say like, hey, work harder, or like, hey, you're a terrible employee, or things like that. Like, hey, like I'm trying to like, okay, like that made absolutely no sense, excuse me. But there's going to be coworkers that are going to be saying, hey, you're so lazy and things of that sort, when you're not really lazy and you're the hardest worker out there. But you got to make sure that you have this vision in the sense that it's not worth being lazy. It's not worth like dealing with annoying people. It's not worth dealing with this negativity, because in your mind, you're here to work hard, save your money, invest, okay? You're here to build skills and build life lessons so that you can get to the next level. Because I'm here at minimum wage job, and when I clock into work, I make sure I get the most out of this job, where I'm not just there, I'm just passively making sandwiches, passively working, just getting by throughout the day. But I'm trying to collect as much skills at the job as possible. Because if you're there for 8 hours every single day, why are you there just doing nothing, right? Why are you guys there being lazy? Try to build some skills. Try to like ask questions. Like when I'm there, I like to ask the managers, hey, how do you do your job? And they start to kind of teach you a little bit about the manager side of working at a big corporation like McDonald's. Here are some of the things. So then you can learn about what's the other side, what's the corporate side, the kind of mindset that managers have compared to employees, and also learn how to be a manager and how to kind of work with other employees and how to manage people, okay? So that's what we want to be doing, guys. We want to make sure that we have a strong work ethic, right? Focusing on working hard, putting in effort. Number 2, attitude. Be positive. Be excited to go into work because it's a privilege to have that job. And secondly, have that vision, right? Don't let lazy, annoying, negative people get to you, guys. Focus on what matters. For me, it's family, it's friends, it's, of course, the one and only God. Thank you so much. I should have put him at first, but I kind of forgot. I'm sorry. But yeah, whatever your value system is or whatever you value, just remember that when you're at work. And that's why you're putting in the effort. You're putting in the effort and the hours and the sweat equity for your family, for your friends, for yourself, and for your future, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to be the ideal employee. I hope I gave you guys some value, and I hope it was enjoyable and fun and fun at the same exact time. So I hope you guys have a great day, and peace.